Unlike most casual shootouts that happen all over the place, the Kent State Massacre in 1970 proves to be the worst because it was our own fine soldiers who shot and killed innocent little students. These kids had a future as peace-loving hippies, but it was taken away by our dear friend, Mr. Nixon. Slap my bottom and call me silly. I don't believe Nixon had anything to do with this, despite the direct relations between the president, military buildup, and board reserve men shooting kids armed with rocks. On a more serious note, the massacre itself was a devastating event that caused trouble and unrest in the United States among the citizens, realizing their taxes helped kill the students. The political fault line became a gaping hole, making the Grand Canyon look like a little creek, as the nation took sides, on one side with the young college youth exploding with hope, and the other with the old, rich, and emotionally drained. As the students saw it, these kids were protesting war. I don't know if it was all the marijuana or the credulity of the students, but somehow they forgot about all the other nonviolent protests that went down that week. I'm not saying it's a good idea to shoot at a student armed with a rock, but the student should have known that it wasn't a very safe idea. Now, on the easier to poke fun of side, also known as the retarded side, why would one think it's okay to shoot a young, aspiring student when they have a freaking rock in their hand? This further proves the stupidity of our soldiers, as the bottom 10% of our high school is off to fight another battle. Now, as the week started, we have the college protesters, armed guards, and the college administration. April 30th comes around, and we have the greatest leader in the world announce his invasion. No, wait, sorry, incursion to Cambodia. Once the students here, we went to Cambodia. They staged a protest the following day, where some troublemakers showed up and vandalized some buildings. The plan continues to stage another on May 4th, and they await the day. The very next day, a state of emergency is called, and the obviously Republican governor and the ROTC show up, while Bush is nowhere to be seen still. The order is restored for a few hours. The following day, May 3rd, is a slap in the face to all anti-war activists, as the governor calls the students un-American and such other insulting names. The administration calls to stop the May 4th protest, but fails to do so. It continues as about 2,000 kids show up, and the reserves attempt to stop them. They throw rocks at the men in armor, while the men in armor decide a decent retaliation is to shoot them in the freaking head. Stop. Wait, Mr. ROTC soldier. I have some questions for you. First, why were you carrying live ammunition with you? Second, was this some jealousy ploy, just shooting kids who did what you couldn't do? And third, what the hell were you doing with live ammunition? This kind of reminds me of another retaliation effort performed by our finest while under the command of a trained ape. Following the events, the pish-posh water under the bridge outlook given to us by the president only rallied more college students to show how wrong our world really was, and consequently still is. Even without Facebook, the nation gathered about 8 million students to not go to school and forced campus closure in dozens of universities. Of course, as with everything in our nation, we managed to forget about it all within a few weeks.